Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. You are always most welcome. Well, today, fresh from all the excitement about Jerry Anderson and Thunderbirds. By the way, I've just already filmed the second instalment of that, coming very soon. UFO. All those of you that did answer the question in my poll, most of you got it wrong. You all said Thunderbirds was best. It's pretty good. It's almost best. UFO is better. Anyway, I'll get into that another day. It's been filmed. You're going to love it. In the meantime, you're going to love this, maybe even more. The very latest kit from ICM in the Ukraine. It's their brand new Dornier Do217K-1. So this is the development of the Dornier 117, of course, but with this great big glasshouse cockpit that they've developed it to be more suitable for having a gunner in the front and like a bomb aimer and observer, etc., etc. They use them for bombing as well as reconnaissance and all sorts of things. Just gave it a bit more flexibility. My only concern with this kit is you're going to need a mask set for this one, I think. But anyway, they've also very kindly sent me their very bespoke, tailored paint set, which is for the actual 217K, or indeed, as they call it, cleverly, Luftwaffe Night Bombers set. So it's a very interesting one because it's got the 217 in the picture, but there you've got the camouflage green, the field dark green, the pale blue, which I've checked, by the way. That looks like grey, and that worried me straight away, but I double checked it, and it is the right RLM colour. It's the pale blue. It's just the way they printed it, I think, on the cover. It looks a little bit worryingly too grey. It's fine. Rubber black, dark grey, and then regular black. And if you look, there they all are. There's no clear coat in this particular set. They come as 6 colours. But then on the back you do get some hints about what's to come in the kit, I think. There's a grey-green scheme, which I think has the black underneath, rubber black underneath. And then this rather impressive squiggly camo scheme, which I think we'll get into later in the kit. So this is this is unit number, item number 3085 for your Night Fighters, Night Bombers, Luftwaffe colours. Absolutely lovely little set, and another great acrylic set from ICM. Great to get them together as a combo. So the new kit is kit number 48273. Let's have a look on the side at what we have got. 48 scale, of course, and we've got no less than 4 options here, so it's quite impressive. And we've got Luftflotte 2, which I think was on the French coast in 1943. Hopefully that'll be made clear in the box when we get into it. We've got KG66, which I think was on the Eastern Front, I'm not sure, we'll get into that. KG2, Stab KG2 in 1943, or KG2 in 1943, and another option, different camo again with a light blue underneath. So there's 4 very different looking schemes there in terms of the paint jobs. It's going to be very impressive. So we've got some beautiful artwork on the front, of course, as they seem to do a lot of these days. ICM's artwork is up there with the best, really. And on the side then it says this is a version of the Do217 bomber featuring the modified cockpit with expanded glazing area. Detailed reproduction of the unique enlarged glass cockpit is distinctive to this variant. Precise reproduction of the aircraft geometry is based on actual Do7K1 bomber examples. Obviously they've got a few left in the Ukraine in their museums. Highly detailed elements throughout, including gun mounts, crew, cockpit and engines, paint schemes and decals provided for 4 marking options. It's got 224 parts, and the kit has a length of 366 mils and a wingspan of 399 mils. It's fair size, isn't it? Right, let's get going then, see what we've got. Looking forward to this one. A little bit delayed from ICM this month. I think they've had a few problems caused by the conflict, you know. Just mention as well, most of you know about the charity auction we did, which was mainly ICM items that we auctioned. We had about £1,000 worth of kits, and we actually turned that into £2,300 in total. Amazing, absolutely incredible generosity from people. 3/4 of the money has been paid now to the civilian charity Ukraine Relief. Sorry, just bear with me. And then there's just 1/4 left, which is for the animal charity, which I won't bore you with now, but we've had a bit of a glitch with that. we are currently organising an alternative from the one I originally suggested, because it was obvious that it wasn't necessarily going to go to Ukraine. I can't have that, so I want to make sure that my auction did what it said on the tin. So we're going to make sure it goes to somebody else who is going to use it in Ukraine for sure, helping the animals that have been displaced. Right then, nice big box. Oh yes, oh, it's full of plastic as well. There's a lot of plastic in here. Okay, they've got the clear parts in a separate bag. I haven't got any foam on it this time, which we did on one of the previous kits. Was it the Marauder? I can't remember. We'll see how we get on with this. Let's move that aside. Let's go first with the instructions. Move everything out of the way. Now then, let's have a look at what we've got. Put my other light on just to get maximum illumination. There we go. It says here, the Dornier Do217K-1 bomber was a variant of the basic 217 model, featuring a modified front fuselage section. Its new cockpit integrated the upper canopy into a single unit, creating more crew space and enhanced pilot visibility. Powered by twin BMW 801D engines, the aircraft could reach a maximum speed of 515 kilometres per hour at 4,000 metres. That's not bad, is it? That's 375 miles an hour, isn't it? Pretty impressive stuff. 4,000 metres, 12,000 feet. The bomber featured robust defensive armament at 5 points, later expanded to 7 points. Good lord. Like a flying porcupine, isn't it? And could carry a maximum bomb load of 4,000 kilograms. Not bad, not bad. How does that compare to a Mosquito though? Is that any more than a Mosquito? I don't think it is. The first Do217K prototype flew on the 21st of March 1942, with serial production beginning in the autumn of the same year. It was quite late, wasn't it, really, in relative terms? I thought it was earlier than that. Okay, that's interesting. Initially conceived as a night bomber, it served as both daytime and nighttime strike operations across Western Europe and into the Mediterranean region. So it sounds like they didn't use this on the Eastern Front. That's interesting. So it says maximum length 17 metres, 19.1 metres in wingspan, takeoff weight 16.7 tonnes. It's not that much, is it, really, for a big aircraft, you know. Maximum speed, we talked about that, 515. Maximum ferry range, 2,500 kilometres. Armament, 4 7.92mm machine guns, 2 13mm machine guns, and up to 4,000 pounds of bombs. Right, okay, now then, let's have a look. Oh, now then. Our decals, let's go with those first. Sorry, I was just looking. I didn't see any of the German emblem, you know, the one we mean. ICM have gone to this, which is fine, it's great. It just wasn't that obvious straight away, you'll see what I mean. ICM have very sensibly gone to this solution, which should offend nobody. You can see it bottom right there. So you've got like a shadow version, and you've also got the more traditional version, which has got like a black with a white shadow around it, or a white margin, I should say. They look like nice decals, gotta be honest. Obviously nothing too fancy on these type of aircraft, but that yeah, looks very nice indeed. Quite a few stencils, but nothing over the top. Some instrumentation here. That looks pretty good to me. Nothing wrong with those. Got a couple of bands as well. I'm always a bit worried with bands. I've grown out of it, you know. I've got to be honest. I've always used the decal bands, but over time they don't often last that well. You know, it depends on how well they've conformed, and if you've used things like Tamiya, they don't conform that well because they're quite thick, aren't they? May not be a problem here, but yeah, I tend to mask and spray instead these days, to be honest. Right, I'm going to put that down there for a second. Let's jump into the instructions, and we'll try and blast through this fairly rapidly if we can. It's going to be here too long. This could be. Oh, there's quite a lot of parts that are actually not going to be used. Look at this salmon pink area where you've got the deleted parts you're not going to need. Quite a lot of them. Look at that. Tons of them. Gosh. Different props. So what we've got? Different props. Different fuselage from standard. Engine bearers are different. Cowling and some of the floor of the cockpit's different. Gosh. Engine nacelles are different. Yes, it's got these BMW. It's like the Focke-Wulf engine, I think, isn't it? Am I right? I think it is. Basically the Focke-Wulf engine in this. Two of them, FW190 engines. Different. Obviously, you've got different cockpit option canopy for this bigger glass house. So there's a lot of parts are really different. A lot of extra sprues there. I think it's 3 or 4 sprues that are different. Okay, so we'll get straight into it. Let's have a zoom into this, and you can have a little nosy. So, start off building up our starboard side of the cockpit with all the instrumentation, radio gear, etc. For the radio operator. Whether that was a separate guy from the navigator, I'm not sure in these. Did it say what the crew number was? Didn't say what the crew numbers were. I wish it would tell you that actually. No, it doesn't give the number of crew. That is an omission. Slipped up there, ICM. Anyway, yeah. So you're basically building up your main cockpit area here. It's got twin yokes for the pilot and co-pilot. Quite a nice looking, fancy looking seat, I've got to say, for the pilot. Looks like alright. It's almost like a Recaro racing seat, like one of these gaming seats. It's really got padded shoulders and everything. That looks really cool. Headrest, a lot. That all goes in and gets fitted in there. Then you've got the radio operator seat here, which looks much more rudimentary, it has to be said. That's going in behind, gets fitted into the fuselage. Then you've got the forward bulkhead, or the separator bulkhead I should say, going in. And then there's the floorway that goes through to the back. Then we've got the opposite side, the port side. Again, all the instrumentation, switch gear, controls, etc. Perhaps some more radio gear, that kind of thing, going in there. And then you're going to have what looks like a seat for a gunner coming in, and you've got your little spar built into the bulkhead there. Whoops. Then we're getting into the clear glass house at the front, and you've got machine guns. So you've got options here. You've got either twin machine guns, or I think there's a single, twin or single option. That's nice. I quite like that. There's some good options. Then we have got different tail cones as well, options on the tail cones. So it's not making it very clear why the options are there though. I'm just getting a little bit worried about one or two of ICM's instructions. They're not always the clearest when they have options. Now, let's jump into the back to look at the colour call-outs, because that might give us a hint. Luftflotte 2 is the Mediterranean. Stab KG2 is in Holland. And then you've got this one is this fancy one with the fancy wiggly squiggly camo, which is green over grey, is at Chartres in France, northern France. And then you've got Rhine-Main in Germany, which is the more conventional grey-green with the pale blue underneath. But it's not made incredibly clear. Just going back to the instructions. Step 1. Step 2. It just has a question mark, doesn't it? And I'd like it to be a little bit more clarity, if I'm honest. Which is which? I don't know if I'm missing something here that you're spotting, but I'm not entirely clear about which is which. Anyway, we'll move on. So you've got nice big chunky tail wheel there, which they have on these, and there's a bomb bay door cover going on underneath. There's under the gondola area. This is your gun. Sorry, I should have shown that here. This is your gun. The gondola has the gunner's position underneath, rearward firing, and that goes in there, but facing backwards, obviously. And then you've got your the options for your bomb bay. So you can either have it closed, as it's shown here, or here you're actually going to build it up and bring in your 250-pound bombs. Or should that be 250 kilos? Not quite sure. Bomb assembly page on page 15. Okay, we'll just jump ahead to that then, because that would be helpful to perhaps, they've done this thing where they've jumped around a bit. So there's your bomb assembly for your bombs, and there's 3 different options, 3 different types of bomb. 500 kilos, 250 or 250, two different versions of the same thing actually there, but it looks like just two different options. Anyway, those bombs all go into your bomb bay thus, and it does look nice, doesn't it? I like that. I'll be very tempted to go with that. Then you've got your top wing comes down. Is that underneath or top? Yeah, top wing comes down from above. Then it's a little bit confusing again here, if we're honest, and it doesn't make it all that clear, but they have clearly flipped it over in the second frame. So when you go from 35, that's top is top. 36, they've flipped it upside down. Okay, it's a little bit confusing. It doesn't make it abundantly clear again. I might have a chat with ICM because their instructions are not really getting better. I feel there's a slight degradation going on with some of them about clarity on things like that and about options clarity. Anyway, clear enough in terms of what you're going to do at the back end. You've got your vertical and horizontal stabilisers coming together. It's got a tail, it's a bit like a miniature Lancaster system, isn't it? Really, vertical and horizontal setup, twin vertical stabilisers. Then you've got nice ailerons to go on as well. It's nice here. Then you're going to build up your engine nacelles, starting with the engine itself and the surrounding cowlings. And it definitely is the variant of that Focke-Wulf engine. You can see it's got the fan on the front, yeah? You can see it there, can't you, in 51. You can see that fan, part H13. That's just like your FW190s. And then those are going in. I think this is what denotes it as the 217 instead of a 117 because it's got these BMW engines. It's quite a powerful setup, isn't it? Because it's not slow, this plane. And then you're going to build up your you're going to build up your nacelle, I should say, glasshouse. Build up your engine nacelles, and then you've obviously already got your, almost like the front of an FW190 that's going to go onto your nacelle there, which is cool. Then you're building up your gear, landing gear, main gear, that's going to be obviously going in with its retracting system going into the bottom of the nacelle, like so, on both sides, complete with mud guards. Mud guards are here. And then we have got the wheels and tyres going in themselves, and then your doors going in thus. And then it all looks very straightforward. This. Dropping those in from underneath, dropping them onto the wings, and then you're going to put your doors in for the tail gear, because it's a retracting tail wheel. Then we've got this gun emplacement, sort of turret ring almost, going on the back of the main cockpit, and that's going to go within the is that another option? Question mark. It's like an extraction fan, it looks like, because of the glass house. At least they're not doing like the Japanese where their pilots just cook, you know, in a big glass house. They've got like a fan there. See it? Here? A fan extraction system that goes into the, as part of the top of the canopy, it looks. Then you've got your gunner's turret going in here. One or two pitos and things going in underneath. A little bit of trim that goes around, like intakes for the engines on the cowlings. Got your propeller and spinner. Putting in your main gear doors. Finally put on your props. I think you're pretty much done then. Then you just got these the bombs again. And then there's the camo pattern shown here. And then this is where it gets a bit awkward, and this is where I think ICM, in the fullness of time, I hope ICM move on from this, because there's too many there to be faffing around cutting all that lot out, I think. How many have we got? 46 masks. I think that's probably too many, really. It's a lovely model. It's the nature of the beast with a big glass house. You're going to need a mask set. I'll just buy a mask set. But, you know, if you want to cut cost, then that's the way to do it. You just make your own with some Tamiya tape or whatever. And there we go. And then we're back to the four options. Yes, I think that's it looks very impressive, to be honest. I do have some concerns about clarity at the moment with some of these instructions. I feel that they're maybe a little bit rushed in the way they're being done, not making it clear that you need to turn it upside down, and more importantly, not making it clear what the options are and why. Didn't feel that was particularly clear at all. But anyway, it looks very nice, and I think it's. I've got a feeling the plastic's going to be rather wonderful. So I shall reserve any grudging comments until later. Start with this slightly smaller bag of sprues. The usual lovely ICM resealable bag, which we all like. There we go. Not an overburdened bag, this one. So we have got, it's quite big, isn't it? It's quite a big model, this. It's got a bit of presence about it. So we've got our clear parts here. Have we got clear parts in this bag as well? Yes, we have. So I'll tell you what, we'll leave clear parts until later because I want to compare the two actually. So I'm going to put them on one side. This is the one you will use though. This is the one you. Okay, we'll show it now because I think that's why. This is basically this bag. I think is all the development parts that are different, and that's the standard 217, isn't it? Okay, so let's have a look at the. Oh, I think the young man has been polishing with his stick again. His bamboo stick. Look at this. Oh, they're really good at this. They've nailed it. Let's move that out of the way. I think they've nailed it. Look at that. This is beautiful. They've got the opaqued out areas. So how does it work? This is the top. Sorry. So you're now looking at it the right way up. So that's the top to the bottom. You've got these opaqued out areas out at the bottom on the side, where it goes into the gondola, but again they've got beautiful clarity on this. Crystal clear. Very bright, it's not too thick, it looks very scale-like, see that? You've got obviously the opening here for your gun. And then you've got the main top of the canopy glass house here. Again with these opaqued out areas around the gun turret at the back. Ah, they've nailed it, haven't they? That's beautiful, really. Oh, that's gorgeous. They're doing these parts, you know, as good as anybody in the world, I think. Up with Tamiya, no question. And just fantastic. The only thing that slightly worries me is they haven't put any foam in. They've started putting foam in amongst their clear parts to protect them. They didn't this time. I mean, it's fine. It's in a separate bag. I don't think it's necessary, strictly necessary, but isn't that beautiful? There's just nothing not to like there, you know, it's flawless. I like that, I like it a lot. So that is a very good start. That's the first sprue that we've seen. I'm liking it already. Can't wait for this Handley Page Hamden to come out because that's due quite soon, I think, isn't it? I think we'll be seeing that in the next month or two. Oh, I've got a fly. Don't you come into my video, you will clear off. It's a fairly big one as well. I really didn't see that already. Right, so here we've got the got the different tail cone which we talked about at the back end. I think that's the part in the middle here. Okay. Whoops. There we go. So some very fine engraving. The panel lines look absolutely amazing. Yeah. Yes, that's very nice. And then you've got the different nacelles because it's obviously a much big. This 801D BMW engine is a big chunky thing, obviously, as per the Focke-Wulf 490. It shares it with, I think. And then we've got these massive sprue here. This is the sprues for the wings. So we've got the lower wings here at the bottom, and they've got some lovely detail. Look at the way they've gone and chamfered off where the actual aileron goes. That's nicely done, isn't it? Look at that. See the way it's chamfered here. Really chamfers off. That's beautiful. Just the right sort of scale-like panel lining as well. Not too thick, not too thin, not too deep, not too fine. And on the top wing, you know, it's just more of the same, really. Whoops. Camera doesn't like the grey very much. I think it's having a bit of a focus dither. There we go. Lots of these little access hatches, little round ones. Not sure if you can see those, it's picking it up. Yeah, looks nice, doesn't it? Let's come back a bit on the zoom. Sometimes if you zoom back it actually focuses better. Yes, that's a beautiful sprue. They've got that really well. There's no like warpage. It all looks very nice, that does. I'm going to pop that back in the bag for a second so it'll help keep our bag formed and make it easy to put them all away afterwards. There. And then we have the alternative, this is the alternative fuselage. Obviously because it's got this big bulbous area and this gondola underneath. This is one of the reasons one of the areas where it's very different at the front. We'll look at the standard one in a second. You can get an idea just by me picking it up actually. You see the standard one versus, see them side by side there. See it? There's a big difference. Excuse me. Yes. And you've got your machine guns. Let's just zoom in full for this. Look at that. MG34s. Very nice. Those are nice and clear, aren't they? All the internal radio gear for the radio operator stroke navigator in the cockpit. You've got this typical Dornier, these external aerials they have, radio aerials underneath. Kind of wish that, I really prefer it if they do those separately. Not sure I like them being moulded into the fuselage when you've got this great big fuselage like this. And then you come to these radio aerials moulded in, it's a bit risky. Good chance of those getting bashed, I think, during the construction stage. Nice detail on the cockpit floor there as well. I mean, the moulding is just bob on. It's just, they're really nailing it now. I mean, look at the detail here. Look at that. It's not nice. Absolutely fantastic. And you've got these these sort of aero trailing edge of the nacelles, which are it's quite an aerodynamic aircraft actually. I can see there's a bit of, it's almost like they've been doing a bit of wind tunnel work on this one during the war. It seems a bit less clumsy than some of the German planes can be. Anyway, so that's the critical differences with the standard kit, but I'm not familiar with the standard kit anyway, so we will be looking at everything today. I'm not going to cut any corners for you. I want you to see the full effect, so I'll put that away in there. Just go in and zip. There's a way like that. And a clear part of that as well. Super! Well, that was very nice. Flawless. It's anything that caused me any worry there, really. That's a good start. And now, the main 217 kit, if you like. With everything else in it. I may repack these slightly differently and put one of these screws in there because it's a bit disproportionate the way it's done it, to be honest. Okay, so there's not much point in looking at the clear parts, but I'm going to anyway because they're just all so good. I think we should enjoy them. You know? So you're probably not going to use most of this, but we'll have a look anyway. Just as an exercise of being nosy, really. Do it well, don't they, ICM? This is where they've become one of the strongest players in the market, really. As I say, you're probably not going to use this for the 217K-1 version, but just look at these clear parts. Yeah. Very, very nice, isn't it? Again, you've got that opaque area out at the back. Got your turret there, and you got your parts under the gondola as well, which I think you will use. I'm not mistaken, you will use some of these parts. In fact, so it's not that you won't use any of them. 2 or 3 of them you'll use, just not the big main one. That's pretty nice, isn't it? You know, they're just nailing it, aren't they? Really, doing it really, really well. You know, and I think back when I started making models when I was a wee lad, back in the days of UFO on TV. But they were crude, you know. You never got anything that was remotely realistic, because it was always too thick, too crude, not very clear, nasty on many levels. They used to be, generally speaking, you know. It was very rare to get something, and it would have to be something like Tamiya, which I didn't really have them in those days, and they were too expensive for me to afford. So I never actually experienced anything that was really good. It was only late 70s, 80s I got into Tamiya. But look at these, we've got some more guns here. Oops. Some more nice guns. MG34s again, I think. And then we've got lots of instrumentation here. Bit of turret ring, you've got your ailerons, got your parts for your tail wheel, cradle. There's a big trim wheel there. That fly is annoying me. I'm just not going to start being a nuisance. We've got the bay doors, the main gear, and we have got, well, it's like the back of the seat, isn't it? It's quite well done, isn't it? Let's just check that one out. That's well done, isn't it? Yeah. And that's the sort of central. This is the bit you sit on. This is the bit at the backrest. Interesting. Huh. Very nice. I've got to say, flawless. Looks like a fuel tank, doesn't it? So that's good. Pop that there for a second. Then we've got a couple that are duplications. So we've got quite a lot of duplications. So this is the first one. Just come back slightly. So this has got the prop on it, and I have a feeling that you don't use this one. This prop is not used. There's lots of the parts that will be used, like the wheels and tyres, which look very nice. Got a supercharger here for the engine, BMW engine. Yeah, you get everything, don't you? You get two engines, you get full Monty, full interior. Pretty nice kit, this. Really meaty landing gear. Prop spinner. Back plate for the prop here. Or spinner rather. Spinner back plate. Those look like the exhaust manifolds, I think. And you've got engine bearers here. Wow. Some very nice moulding. You've got your tail wheel there as well. That's nice, isn't it? And you've got some of these, like, I think that's part of the bombs, is it? Maybe not. Okay, so that's a duplicate. Then we've got another one that's duplicated, and this is the one I think you will use for this variant. You can tell by the propeller it looks like an FW190 propeller. And then again, like an FW190 forward cowling as well. Yeah, I mean the prop's nice, isn't it? I like the way they've done the attachment point. They've done that cleverly as well. Very sensible. You've got like an FW190 spinner, which is the one I think you will use. Back plate for that. It's there. And your fan. Again, on these 801 engines, it has this fan on the front to help cooling. So this is a really nice sprue, actually. Yep, that's very nice. All your engine cylinders. Beautiful, and you've got this sort of fluted, flared out to help the cooling on the back of the cowling, really. So that's that one, which I'm very impressed with. So that's one side. Then we get another duplicate set here, which is the bombs. Come back for this a little bit. Bomb set, complete with tail fins. Well, basically everything you need. But they look very meaty. Look at I like the way they've done this. Look at this one, with the sort of like a ring around it, around the nose. That's very well done, isn't it? Very nice. Yeah, that is really cool, actually. I think it says the other side of it with the ring. Some have got the detonators like to make it detonate early above ground, like an anti-personnel bomb, that, for sure. Another one here. If they want it to go off before it hits the ground, that's to take out personnel. Very nasty. Okay, so that's the bomb set. And then, oh, we've got a couple of parts that are off sprues here. Don't know why that is. We've got another one which is the nose cone, the prop spinner I should say. That's off the sprue. Where did that come off then? Oh yes, it's off the other sprue. Well, I think they haven't protected them as well as they might have in fairness, some of these parts. And there's a seat. I don't think that's the pilot's seat, is it? I think that's the co-pilot's seat. Or maybe the gunner's. Then you've got some parts which you're probably not going to use because this is the, I'll just zoom this back. This is because you've got this is the standard version that doesn't have the BMW engine. But then you've got your the Bombay doors here, and you've also got some of the bulkheads and things which are going to be used obviously in the interior of the fuselage and around the cockpit. Nice detail there, very well done actually. It's a nice kit, very nice kit. Looks like a fuel tank there, doesn't it? That looks like a fuel tank in the middle. And that looks like the radio, some of the radio gear or maybe homing gear, something like that. It's very nice. And then last but not least, we have got, and again you're not going to use most of this, not about half of it you won't use. You won't use the fuselage because it's wrong for this particular variant. But you've got your horizontal stabiliser and your vertical stabilisers here, almost like a Lancaster fashion, and your rudders. Rudders. So you've got horizontal stabilisers above and below. Bulkhead here. And that's kind of it, really. That's kind of it. Any disappointments, really, here? One or two parts are off the sprue. I think maybe they'd have been better. I can see what they've done. They've effectively got one kit in one bag, and then the updated parts for the new variant in another bag. That's probably not worked out so well in terms of the protection of the parts, because you can quite clearly see that some have come off the sprue. I think there's probably too many in one bag, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to move out a couple of these sprues, those two probably, complete with our parts that have got sheared off. Where's that? Where's the seat gone? I've lost it already. I've lost the seat. I don't know what's happened to that. There was a seat, wasn't there? I'll play the video back and find it that way. It's probably fallen into the other parts in actual fact. But if you've got parts you're not going to use, which there are, you don't have to be too gentle on them when they go back in the bag really. I think they could be used and abused a little bit. So I'm going to definitely slightly change the way that's being done, because I think it's not doing the kit any favours being packed in that way. Oh, there's a seat, there we are, that's fine. Want them there. So that's good. I'm going to put that back like that. I'm going to seal that across, and I'm going to put this lot in here because we've got an underutilised bag. And I think it makes far more sense to put them together in a slightly different way. Yeah, that's like that. And like that. I think that uses both parts far more effectively. Put those parts in there. There we go. I think that gives us a better overall packaging situation than it was from the factory. So, what do we think then? Marks out of 10. Any disappointments? My only disappointment, a couple of parts on the sprue there, it's just bad packaging really, but I'm not going to mark them down for that. The only disappointment is just these instructions. They're getting a little bit, I don't know whether some of these things are a bit rushed or they haven't been quite thought through. It's not really like ICM to have lack of clarity. Sometimes they don't have as much detail as I would like, but that's not quite the same thing. I would like them to be a little bit clearer about different variants and why, because it didn't seem to make that terribly clear to me, unless I've missed something and you've not spotted it, I don't know. Shout out if you have. But it's a beautiful kit. Going to be retailing about I didn't actually check this, but I think it's about £55 to £60 thereabouts, similar to the Marauder sort of price. Obviously this is going to retail at about £15 or thereabouts, £15 to £20 max. So the clear parts, absolutely gorgeous, you know, fantastic clear parts. I like the engines, good interior detail, seems pretty good to me. I think I'm going to give it 9.5 out of 10, just maybe focus a bit more on some of that clarity on those instructions, which variants go where and why. Wasn't clear in my mind what they were actually trying to tell you there. So apart from that, I think the plastic is beautiful, flawless really, you know. And it's quite a big, it's going to have a kit, this model's going to have a big presence, it's this big, you know. A nice Dornier, something really good from the Western Front as well, in the Mediterranean campaigns. Some interesting schemes, you've got 4 choices there. It's beauty. So I think, yeah, 9.5 out of 10 is where I'm at. Hope you'll give me a 10 out of 10. Thanks very much to ICM for providing the kit. It's another beauty. Again, they've got the young man with his bamboo polishing stick, and he's going to produce beautiful, clear glasshouse parts. So all that needs really to make it perfect is some figures. I don't know if there's any figures scheduled for these, but that'd be nice if we could get some figures coming through, even if they have to be bought separately. Because the trouble is with a big glasshouse, you almost need it to be nice to have some crew in it just before takeoff sort of scene, you know. Apart from that, I think it's beautiful and flawless. Very nice kit. Glad that's come through. Been waiting for that, and it's been a bit delayed through reasons beyond their control, and I think it's well worth the wait. So thank you very much, ICM. Hope you enjoyed that. I thought it was interesting. These should be in the shops by the time you see this. They should be in the shops the same week. So rush out and get yourself that for sort of £75. You can have everything you see there for £75 or less. So hope you'll enjoy building it, because it looks like a fun build as well. It's, apart from those 1 or 2 minor question marks, it looks very straightforward. Most of it does. It looks very easy to build. I think it will be quite a logical and enjoyable step-by-step build. So thanks a lot. Till next time, thank you very much for joining me. We have got some more ICM items coming through. 1 or 2 interesting ones, something different. Some you may have not seen before, some you may have seen before in the distant past. Rejuvenated new option kits. Stay tuned and you won't miss a thing. Till next time, thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, give us a like. Stay tuned. Keep your eyes open for the next show. Until then, thanks very much. Stay well, stay safe. Until next time, thanks a lot, and bye for now.